Let's just say unraveled already. And we just started. And the funniest part about these ratings that they put out, I mean, God, TNT Sports must be dizzy with the level of spin they're trying to give this thing.
The Premier League's ratings are out, and they're terrible. One thing is obvious. Without Caitlin Clark, basketball's pulse would fade. She's more than simply a player.
Is anybody going to watch this thing? Let's be honest here. Would you pay money to watch basically Big Three, but WNBA version? Personally, no.
The most recent league ratings are available, and the figures on both channels are really startling. The program only attracted 300,000 viewers. To put this in perspective, consider a person who poses significant queries regarding the league's present level of popularity. It's a sharp decline from prior years and a blatant sign of declining fan engagement.
Average 313,000 viewers. The second game, which is the Vinyl versus the Rose, averaged 311 viewers. That's an average. It was the two most watched women's basketball games on TNT Sports platforms ever.
For a league that takes pride in growing and reaching a wider audience, this low viewership is a major wake-up call. What went wrong? Is it the marketing, the matchups, or something more fundamental? Let's examine the reasons behind these poor ratings and consider what they might indicate. Not just a disappointing season.
The viewership actually dropped between the first game and the second game from last Friday, the debut of Unrivaled. Now, why is that significant? Angel Reese played in the second game and they lost viewers from the first game. Now, once again, tell me how you're moving the needle, because people literally tuned out when your game came on.
Above all, the conspicuous lack of a superstar. It's impossible to overlook talent like Caitlin Clark, a generational player, and a genuine ratings magnet. Few athletes can captivate audiences with her thrilling performances, clutch moments, and larger-than-life personality. Fans are drawn to the league as well as the game without her. Without her, the product seems to lack the spark that keeps viewers glued to their screens. Fans want a story, a hero to root for, and without someone like Clark, the league feels like it lacks that magic.
I would personally say hands down Caitlin Clark is the best player to come through the WNBA. Hands down, not based on white privilege. I think based on her full athletic talent and the position that she's playing in the WNBA.
Second, the actual matches have fallen short of expectations. This season's games have struggled to provide those marquee moments, but great leagues are founded on rivalries, drama, and captivating storylines that appeal to both diehard fans and casual spectators. Fans are disinterested because of the lack of an exciting finale and competitive edge in some games, and only Caitlin Clark has what it takes to make any contest amazing.
And I completely believe that all the sponsorships that they've gotten are because in their mind they thought they could lure Caitlin Clark into this thing. Because at some point those sponsors are going to want some ROI or they will bail. So they got 1 year to show them that they can make this work without Caitlin. Because if it doesn't work without Caitlin Clark, there's no reason on earth that she would want to do this next year, if it even happens. So no, I don't wish failure for this. I don't wish failure at all. I want the league to be successful.
Furthermore, with so many entertainment options at our fingertips, sports leagues are no longer just vying for viewers' attention. Instead, they are competing with streaming services, video games, and a host of other distractions. If the league wants to stand out, it needs to provide something truly unique, and at the moment, it isn't. What can it do? The league should concentrate on developing captivating stories, showcasing elite players, and making sure that every game feels like an event worth watching. Investing in marketing, enhancing game presentation, and encouraging rivalries could greatly increase fan interest. Most importantly, the league must embrace the special talents of players like Caitlin Clark, who have the capacity to take the sport to new heights. The league must take immediate action to improve these ratings because they are more than simply numbers. They're a sign of a more serious problem. If they don't, these depressing viewership numbers may become the new standard, which is a reality that nobody in the sport wants to deal with.
You would hope it would earn, but clearly things are on an upward trending trajectory. It's improving. and she has everything to do with it. Attendance for Indiana Fever games? Are you kidding me? WNBA draft, games on ABC, ESPN, television ratings. She's directly responsible.
Unrivaled's ascent was promoted as a game changer for sports leagues, promising thrilling matches and a league of ardent supporters. However, a stark contradiction is that, despite being positioned as intimate and captivating, the venues used for these games are getting harder to ignore. On the surface, squeezing games into smaller venues generates the image of great demand. A tiny arena packed to capacity gives the idea of a vibrant fan base. However, Reve reveals a worrying reality. Audiences aren't coming to games as much as the league wants you to believe. While broadcast footage and pictures of crowded areas convey enthusiasm and involvement, a closer examination reveals a different picture. These locations were picked to conceal problematic attendance figures that fall short of the excitement, not because they have the capacity to draw the league's prospective audience.
A season where we all know that Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever team averaged 1.1 million views per game, but all the other teams outside of the Fever averaged 394,000 viewers for the entire season. But outside of this past season, which we all know was a record year for the WNBA, before that they've averaged 462,000 viewers in 2023. That was across ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and CBS, where the WNBA games were.
When cameras inadvertently record the truth despite deliberate camera angles, it becomes even more evident that wide areas of seats are either vacant or, even worse, sold-out portions seem uncannily empty rather than fostering an air of exclusivity. The league's inability to draw large numbers is evident from the tiny venues. When supporters see these blank spots, it begins to erode. The legitimacy of the league's unregated status has repercussions as well. Beyond optics, no matter how big, a half-empty arena lacks the enthusiasm and vitality of a fully engaged audience. The difference is felt by players who thrive on the cheers of their fans. For a league looking to rethink its place in sports, the game loses some of its enchantment when the enthusiasm in the room doesn't match the activity on the court. This absence of noticeable excitement is a serious setback.
Attendance is down. Viewership is down. Guess what? Nobody gives a rat's ass.
A player like Caitlin Clark will not only attract crowds, but also elevate the league's overall brand. Her ability to captivate audiences could be the answer to packing arenas and changing the trend of fan engagement. But the league's inability to sustain interest becomes even more apparent in the absence of a star like her. Instead, fans are faced with an atmosphere that feels like manufactured hype in tiny, most depressingly empty surroundings. Fans want stories about rivalries and superstars they can support. The answer lies in authenticity rather than just expanding venues or bringing in big-name players. Fans are drawn to leagues where the love of the game surpasses marketing gimmicks and passion feels genuine. Rather than using venue-size gimmicks to cover up low attendance, investing in grassroots campaigns to cultivate a devoted fan base that embraces superstar athletes and tells important stories will have a far more enduring impact. The league runs the risk of losing the respect of supporters who are desperate for authenticity if it keeps putting optics before content. The moment has arrived for Unrivaled to live up to its reputation in terms of both talent and the capacity to elicit genuine, fervent participation. Only then will the stands and the hearts of supporters be genuinely filled.
We've talked ticket sales and we've talked viewership. Now let's talk about regular season viewership, not draft viewership. Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days.
Despite the raging debates and unimpressive reactions regarding Unmatched, there is one indisputable advantage. Given the chance to shine, Kate Martin is demonstrating why she is deserving of it. Her play has been outstanding thus far, demonstrating her abilities and reminding everyone what true talent looks like on the court. Regretfully, some players, like DJ Carrington, have been undermining her success not with great play, but rather with egregious, unsportsmanlike behavior. In one particularly unpleasant instance, Carrington tried to slap Martin viciously in the middle of a game, shocking onlookers and further damaging the league's reputation.
WNBA standout Kate Martin didn't seem to appreciate the physical defense DJ Carrington played on her during Unrivaled League. And I'm telling y'all right now, we already know how she coming, bruh. She's very handsy with her style of play, and she's not the only one. There's a lot of ladies in this league that play like that.
The focus on dirty plays and needless aggression, rather than players like Martin who elevate the game, is what Carrington's actions represent. These incidents drive away fans from the league because they don't want to watch a game where amazing talent like Martin is overshadowed by cheap shots and animosity.
You in the kitchen. DJ, how come every time there's a foul, a questionable foul, a flagrant foul, a smack across the face, a fingernail in the eyeball?
For the league to succeed, it must be a venue where skill, effort, and sportsmanship are rewarded rather than a league where players use unsportsmanlike methods. Moments like this reflect negatively not only on the individual player, but also on the league as a whole. The irony is that Kate Martin is precisely the kind of player Unrivaled should be constructing around her rise, a tale of talent and tenacity shining through adversity, a narrative that fans could rally behind. Instead, the league is bogged down by incidents like Carrington's antics, which undermine the game's integrity and make it more difficult for fans to emotionally invest in the sport. Fans want a game that is competitive and passionate, not one that is marred by needless drama and dirty play.
See what really happened here, man, with Dejanay. Okay. Nice pass. Oh, man. So you're going to help her up right after you clobber her like that, right? You're going to help her up after you clobber her like, didn't even look at her. Oh, she's so shady. She's so shady.
Unrivaled must carefully consider its priorities if it hopes to increase its audience and gain respect. The league needs to deal with unsportsmanlike behavior quickly and decisively to prevent it from overshadowing the talent that could make this league truly special. But Caitlin Clark is the real deal. Last year, she electrified audiences with unmatched energy and drew fans to arenas and TV screens alike. Players like Kate Martin should be highlighted for their excellence and given the support they deserve because she is the one player who can make this league work. Her ability to perform in high-stakes situations and her mix of incredible skill and competitive fire boosted the WNBA and left an enduring impression on the sport. But her absence from Unrivaled this season has harshly exposed the league's current situation, and it doesn't look good. Clark is more than just another famous athlete. She is a phenomenon who appeals to both casual viewers and die-hard basketball fans off the field. Her capacity to draw large crowds is indisputable, and the league's difficulties would be much more apparent without her. Unexpectedly low attendance for the first Unrivaled games this season is a glaring indication that fans aren't paying attention in the absence of the excitement Clark provides.
Caitlin Clark, the name that's got 131 WNBA players speechless. And trust me, if you've been following her rise, you know why. We're talking about a record-breaking rookie season, unbelievable viewership numbers, and the kind of impact that's making even the most seasoned pros sit back and say, dang.
While basketball is a team sport, certain stars have the unique ability to elevate not only their own profile, but the league as a whole. Caitlin Clark is one of those rare talents whose absence leaves Unrivaled without a central figure to rally around, and the empty seats and lack of energy in the arenas tell the same story. It's also undeniably obvious that without Clark to create buzz and keep fans engaged, no other player has been able to fill the void, and the results are painfully obvious.
I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all not like about Caitlin Clark? Is it the media coverage? Do you not like that she complains after foul calls like everybody else? What exactly is the reason why I see so much hate on social media and from WNBA players? All she's doing is bringing more attention to the game, and she's very skilled. Like, whenever I watch Iowa games, her teammates always got an open shot. Please explain to me, why do y'all hate